Good evening and welcome to another Oblivion Play stream, where today we're back in Innsbruck, or Lima Oscar Whiskey in India, or LOWI as it's commonly known. We're back in the Zibo 737 and we're flying over today to Dusseldorf, an old favourite. And as you can see, we've got a webcam this evening, because why the hell not? Alright, so we got live traffic on using world traffic. It doesn't seem to be anything here, so we are literally the only plane in Innsbruck this evening. But anyway, let's jump into the cockpit and we will start working through our flows to get our Zibo 737 up and running. So get the IRSs over to nav, we've got the batteries on, and then we'll work our way down. So your damper we can't switch on just yet. We'll get the fuel pumps on. And we'll get our ground power connected. There we go, so that's keeping the system happy. We're not going to run out of battery. And get the window heats on so the windows are nice and warm by the time we take off. Leave the pitos off for now. And same with the electric hydraulic pumps. We'll arm the emergency lights, put the cover over, and we'll get the passenger lights on. And then get the position light on. And then we'll need our landing altitude, which at Dusseldorf is 147. Let's just move the camera over a little bit so we can see that better. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the cruise altitude. What did I say? 147. So we'll leave it at 100. That's the nearest round down. Altitude today, flight altitude is 360. And that's in the auto position. We'll get the APU bleed on and the engine bleeds off. Put the packs to auto. Isolation valve to open. Recirc fans to auto. And that's looking good. Okay, so what we'll do now is just get our passengers and fuel on board. So fuel, weight and balance, and then head over to the right page on our flight plan. So payload today is 18.7. Again, usually we need to do some tweaking just to get sure that's the right zero fuel weight, which is 61.7. So we're going to 20.4. Is that right? Yes. We'll go down to 3 then. 20.3. Okay. As you can see, mental arithmetic isn't my strongest point. Okay, fuel, 4.8 tons this evening. And that's us done. Okay, so we'll leave it on that page because we'll need it again later. We'll get our ACARs. I'll use the FMS this time, why not, for a change rather than using Avitab. Oh, and I'll need to update my nav data before my next stream then, because clearly we've run out. Which one? It's gone out of date, sorry. So let's see our 8 is at LOWI. So light winds at only 7 knots. We're taking off from runway, is it 28 I think? 26, sorry. And then QNH is 1021, so we can put that in now. That should have synced over. Yep, it has. Yeah, so weather's not looking too bad. A little bit chilly, unsurprisingly, being in Austria. Even in October, it's getting pretty damn chilly. I don't know how that compares to the UK, but it can't be that far off. Okay, so we are at LOWI. Next change, not to be starting at a UK airport. This one, oh, weird. They don't seem to Well, they do line up. I'm just being stupid. So we're at gate 3, but like I said, this oh, it does actually work, but it doesn't seem to have changed anything. So that's that done. So LOWI, and then we're going to echo a delta delta Lima for Dusseldorf. Runway, like I said, it was 26, and so not taking off from runway 8, unfortunately, but this is kind of like a straight out departure, which is quite good. We'll put our flight number in, and then we'll put our perf data in. So, gross weight, sorry, zero fuel weight was 61.7. Reserves 1.1 as it tends to be in the Zibo. Cost index of 20. And then our planned fuel is 2.7. Cruise altitude is 360, as we've already clarified. I know I'm still checking. And cruise winds are 264 at 35. Oops. Top of cruise outside air temperatures -55. N1 limit. So outside air temperature is 8. We'll derate to 1 and then climb 1, just because we don't want to derate too much, because obviously we're quite high up and we've got mountains to clear. So yeah, we'll derate to 1. Flaps 5. Takeoff CG is 24.1. So relatively fast takeoff. We are full of passengers, so that's not surprising. Departure-wise, we are doing the Mogt 3 Hotel. Papa 66 to Kaput, that's what I'm going to call it, KPT. And then we're going direct to Harem. UN 851. Ooh, no. To Lochery. Don't know why I did that kind of in a Scottish accent, but seemed to work. Z850 to Ademi. Next page. T854, and then that will be the start of the star when we get to Domex. And our arrival today is Domu 2 Golf, and it's ILS runway. I think it's 23 right, wasn't it? Yeah. They seem to use 23 right for landing aircraft, and then 23 left for departing aircraft. But I was just having a look at flight radar, and actually, funnily enough, they actually seem to be both taking off and landing on 23 left today. But we'll land on 23 right, just because that seems to be the usual procedure. Alright. We'll just have a look. We'll go just do a straight in. Won't bother going. Well, we're going via BAM anyway. Okay. So activate that. Execute it. Execute the performance data, and then we'll go to the next page, and then we'll just run through our plan, make sure everything makes sense. Excuse me. Oh. I'm just gonna zoom that out a little bit. There we go. I was doing, I was pressing the wrong button, that's why it wasn't working. I was clicking next page rather than step. Okay. Oh, that looks nice. Yeah, it's actually quite a short flight today. It's only about an hour. So that's looking good. So what we'll do is get back onto the perf page. Just go back to the map page for now. It's inner F, sorry, not perf. I'm thinking of the A320 again. So we've got a V2 of 148, so we can put that in to the autopilot. Turn on the auto throttle, turn on the flight directors, turn on the VNAV, the LNAV, and we are going up to an altitude of 360, so we can put that in straight in. Just follow the SID altitude restrictions, but we'll otherwise just go straight on up. And X-Planes zoom keeps catching me out with the scroll wheel. 360. There we go. I wish Boeing. I mean, I think in real life when you scroll through it, it kind of like it's a bit logarithmic in the sense that it starts speeding up as you keep going. Whereas I quite like on the Airbus that you can switch it to thousands of feet rather than doing it manually. It takes forever. Okay. Anything else I'm missing? Let's put the auto brake to rejected takeoff. Lights and everything I'm happy with. I think we're otherwise good to go in the sense we're all set up. Get some background sounds going. I know what we need to do. We need to close the door. Otherwise we'll be deafened by the ground crews doing their bits and bobs. And start the flight leg. Oh well. Right, let's go through our checklist. So preliminary checklist. So yes, we've done that. We're on the GPU. Iris modes are on nav. Voice recorder's fine. Flight data access is fine. Emergency equipment's checked. Blah 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 blah. We don't need to do all that bit. That's all fine. Parking brake is definitely parking brake's definitely on. CDU we've programmed. Captain flying. Right. So lights fine. Working through our bits and bobs. That's all looking good. Yeah. And then first officer. There's always something I miss off on this one. We'll start the APU in a second. Yeah. We'll go for ignition left, why not? Engine start auto. Yep. Yep. Where actually is the takeoff config light? It's on the overhead. No, no idea. Takeoff config, where are you? I've seen it a few times and I've kind of skipped over it because we usually were configured correctly anyway. Yeah, I can't see it. It's probably straight in front of me. You're probably screaming at the screen. No worries, we'll miss that off. I never tend to do it anyway. So auto brakes rejected. Takeoff. Anti-skid and ARP is extinguished. These are all fine. Yep, so that's all good. So flight deck doors closed. CDU's display is set. N1 bugs we have. IS bugs are fine. And MCP is set. Excellent. Right, let's get our APU online and get our doors and things closed. Yeah, I was just double checking the fuel. Right. Doors. Close, close, close. And we will get rid of our ground handling. And what am I forgetting? Do a PA. Why not? What on earth? What language is he speaking? Sounds very aggressive. I think it is German, but sorry for all those German watchers. Right, so let's get our APU gen on. No, it's not online yet. Whoopsie. Alright, there we go. Get rid of our ground power. I was a bit ahead of the APU there. Good. So yep, I think we're good. Let's get our pushback truck. Actually, let's not do it the cheaty way. Let's do it through our... Oh. I swear I've already done this. Oh, actually, no, we're going the other way, aren't we? I swear I've done this before I started streaming. Anyway, we'll do it now. Here he comes, running over everyone, crashing into the fuel truck, causing catastrophic explosion. Good work. Alright, let's get the anti-collision light on now because we're about to start the engines. And we'll go on to the pushback checklist. So transponder will leave off, parking brake will turn off in a second, and our hydraulic pumps will turn on after we've pushed back. Will do. Could you sound any more excited about your life? Okay, so packs will turn off once we're pushing back, and then we can start our engine start sequence. So it's actually a really nice day in Innsbruck. When I was doing, well, my last live stream, it was a little bit more cloudy. And then when I was doing that settings video, it was quite overcast as well. Makes it quite moody, but we can enjoy the scenery today, at least. So parking brake off. Oops, wrong way. Turn off the packs. And engine number 2 to ground. Starting engine number 2. Waiting for 25% N2, and then we can introduce our fuel. Yeah, I got it a lot wrong in my last few streams, so I thought it was 20%. It tends to vary between aircraft, Boeing aircraft, so we'll go as per the checklist, which is 25%. Whilst that's doing its business, we'll set our trim to 4.8. So that's a good start. Let's start engine number 1. There's 25. So that's another good start. I really need to get that camera add-on where you can assign views. So that's flaps set to 5. Just to get on the rudder pedal so I can set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. And what else do we need to do? We need to get the pitos on. We need to get the electric hydraulic pumps on. We need to get our engine packs and things on, and get the gens on. And then we can turn off our APU and stop burning unnecessary fuel. And then we'll run through the rest of the checklist. So gens 1 and 2 are on, probe heat's on, wing anti-ice we won't need, and engine anti-ice we won't need because it's a beautiful day today. Pack switches are on auto, isolation valve I forgot to put onto auto. APU bleeds off, engine starts to continuous, just in case we get an engine failure on takeoff. Start levers idle, ground equipment's clear, just clearing off now. Flaps are set, flight controls we can do now. So full left, full right, full up, full down, and full left on the rudder, full right on the rudder, and that's looking beautiful. Let's turn off that lower DU, and that completes our checklist. So we can turn off on our taxi light. We've got the thumbs up from our lovely marshal over there. Let's taxi to runway 26. Parking brake off. Look at that mist in the valley. Looks nice. Alright, let's introduce a bit of power. I was just seeing if there was a cabin crew prepare for takeoff announcement, but I don't think there is. It's prepare for landing, but it's not for takeoff, so we'll just do the use the little bonger thing up there. Right, that's the checklist. So before takeoff checklist. So it looks quite quiet. You can't see anything, any other aircraft inbound or anything like that. But when we make our left turn here, we'll turn our transponder on, and that'll just confirm everything for us. So we'll get our transponder on now. Just got to remind myself where it is. There it is. So we'll just let the flight attendants know that we're approaching the runway. We'll get our strobe on now as we're cleared onto the runway. If I can multitask. Goodness me. There we go. Right. Let's make sure we're clear left and we're clear right. Oh. Well, there you go. He's just done it for me. Didn't need to do that. Runway turn-offs on. We'll just slow down a little bit. So, strobe lights are on. Transponder's on. And landing lights will turn on when we're facing the right direction. Sim boy, you've been caught out by Cloudbot. What did you do? Face reveal, indeed. Well, if you look at my channel, I've done a few like video blogs and things. Vlog, that's the word I was looking for. When I did Twitch, I used to have the webcam on as well. Okay, so we'll turn around here, get our landing lights on, and then I think we're pretty much good to go. That's the last element on our checklist. as we make a left. Look at that mesh. The mountain's like unbelievable. Okay, we'll get the landing lights on. And we're looking good to go. So once we're lined up, we'll introduce power. So ramp up our engines, make sure they're synchronous, and then we'll hit the toga button. It's looking good. Bit of downward pressure on the yoke, and let's get going. Gentle back pressure, hand off the throttle, gear up, look at this scenery, unbelievable. I was quite out of trim then. So we'll go flaps 2. And flaps 1. And flaps up. Look at this. Can't beat Austrian scenery. Alright, let's get the autopilot on, and then I'll clean up. So, get the landing gear down to the off position. Get the speed brakes off. Yeah, the taxi light off and the runway turn off lights off, and we'll work through our checklist. Yep. We've done all that. Oh yeah, and our start levers or switches to auto. Fantastic. So up we go. Oh, I forgot to check what the transition altitude was at Innsbruck. Let me just have a quick look. I did check last time, I've forgotten what it was. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's just by ATC, isn't it? That's why I don't remember it. So what we'll do is we'll go to standard now. Myself as a pilot and ATC has determined that we are at the transition level. Look at the detail on that mesh, it looks incredible. So it's interesting, there seems to be like a speed restriction. I don't know whether that's to promote kind of climbing as quickly as possible. But we're now accelerating up to 250, which is the usual speed restriction. Look at the roads up the mountains. I imagine they're probably quite good mountain bike trails, cross-country skiing, etc., etc. God, it must be amazing flying around here in real life. Airclips.com has a pretty good video of one of the Swiss Air flights. I think it was the, well, yeah, it was the end of their Fokker 100 flights, and they flew over the Alps, and imagine that's pretty much what this must look like in real life. So there's 10,000. Let's get the landing lights off. As we accelerate. So the last thing we'll do is get the passenger signs off, but we'll just climb a little bit higher, get under kind of 5 degrees of pitch, and then we'll be good to turn that off. What I might just do is, now that we're settled, is just turn this DSF up a little bit. There we go, that's better. Lovely. So we're making that right turn to leave the Alps behind us. You can see where ORBX finishes and default continues, just from the mesh itself. In case you didn't hear what I said there because of the engine noise, it was, you can see the kind of where the ORBX starts and where default scenery starts as well, just with the mesh. Alright, let's get the passenger signs off and we can release them. I love that phrase, release the passengers. It just has that kind of negative connotation, doesn't it? As if they're like animals. Release the passengers. Even to be fair, even the default X-plane stuff's not looking too bad, but I bet it's nothing on what Flight Simulator 2020 is going to give us. Very exciting. Alright, let's get the range up a little bit, and then we can... Oh, actually, it's not that far at all to Dusseldorf. Might even do the return flight. Let's see how we get on. I'll make the most of the stream tonight because I can't stream tomorrow because Oblivion Plays is getting 3 fillings done. Gutted. Look after your teeth because otherwise this happens. Climbing pretty quick, even though we are completely full. Let's see what our ETA is. Progress. 11:33. How is that correlating with... Oh yeah, of course, because the stream times, kind of real time versus in-game time, which is obviously what the FMS is using. And there we go. There's the foothills of the Alps, so we're leaving them all behind. I had my speakers off the whole entire time. Sorry, guys. Who needs sound anyway? It's so hot in this room. I'm in like a little attic room, and it gets insanely hot when I'm playing Flight Sim because the computer's just emitting so much heat. Can't believe I left the sound off. You poor guys. That takeoff's going to be ruined. For a second, just get a bit of fresh air in. Sorry if you hear any background noise, it would just be cars going past. This frame rate so low. Am I running out of memory or something? 75%. Too bad. Oh, that's some nice cool air. Didn't realise how hot it was in here. So my internet problems are so well fixed that I'm now YouTube's complaining that I'm sending too high a bit rate to them. Gutted. So what we're looking at here, so it's what? 240 is it ish? Nautical miles till we get to. I don't know why I'm trying to work out in my head. It tells you down here, doesn't it? 282 nautical miles to Dusseldorf, and it will take us about 40 minutes to get there. I'm surprised they went for the landing gear design like that. 'Cause imagine, I mean, I know you don't really go that close to it when you're setting, but I imagine that's asking to be accidentally knocked down during flight. Same as the fuel levers, like, just would have thought something that key, you'd put a guard on it or something. So, getting there, 32,000 feet. Not actually going to be in the cruise for actually all that long. We'll do a level off announcement when we're up there. I don't know why Cloudbot timed you out there, Lewis. I think it's a bit harsh because I understand multiple symbols, but just using exclamation mark as excessive amounts of exclamation marks that you did use, I think it seemed a bit harsh. Just close that window a little bit. That's the problem, you open the window and then it gets too cold. So let's have a little look at our approach. So we'll close down the LOWI bits and bobs and have a look at Dusseldorf. So update the weather. A little bit breezy, 14 knots, nothing too dramatic. What runway were we on again? 23 right, so a slight crosswind, but otherwise not too dramatic. Landing on 23 right, ILS 23 right. And what are we looking at? So we're coming in via Barman. So pretty much straight in, making a left turn down to 3,000 feet. Put our decision altitude in, or decision height rather in, which is 50. So that's all set, we don't have to worry about that. And then our nav. So we're looking at 110.95. And then the course will be 232. It's otherwise a very straightforward approach. Missed approach procedure. We leveled off now. We've leveled off now. Let's do the announcement. So climb straight ahead to DME of 2.7. Then turn right. Excuse me. Then turn right onto 309 inbound LMA NDB until crossing R279. Then turn right onto 060 outbound, climbing to 4,000 feet. So a bit of a slight head to crosswind, but we're still looking to get into Dusseldorf at 11:35. So yeah, just over 40 minutes to go as we settle into the cruise. Did not mean to do that. That's the one I meant to do. So I'll just bring down the range a notch, just so we can keep an eye on that top of descent. Okay, so yeah, everything's looking fine. Let's see if there's anything going on in the news in terms of flight sim news. There's lots of lovely screenshots of Flight Sim 2020 looking amazing. Oh, I do wish we had a decent Boeing 777 in X-Plane. Almost jealous of all the pictures on the Reddit page for Flight Sim. See if there's anything new for the Rotate MD-11. I always like to keep a close eye on that one. No. That PMDG, there was this big announcement and then it's never happened. They posted that thing about a month ago saying something big was going to be announced and still nothing. Still Looking at the forum. No, what a surprise. Let's have a look at Just Flight. Last source of anything exciting. Just want them to release the BAE 146 already, but looks like they're focusing on releasing their traffic for X-Plane 11 first. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better on the frames than world traffic is, because world traffic, they tend to knock off about 5 frames per second on my system, which isn't great when, particularly when you're streaming, so that then knocks off an additional amount of frames. So that's why, you know, let's have a look what I'm doing now. I am down to 18-ish. Go to 30, just I know we're trying to stream in 1080p 60 frames per second, but for some reason we're not getting anywhere near that at the moment, so we may as well just focus on getting up to 30 frames per second and actually getting a decent looking stream, decent looking scenery and stuff. Yes, but I don't know how you do it. This seems to be a bit of a bug that I've found. There's no way to release the cabin crew. Because I've turned off the seatbelt sign, so that shouldn't be the issue, unless it's the chimes? Don't know. Trying its hardest to get those frames up, but it's going to struggle. There's just too much going on, particularly with xEnviro. I'm kind of considering, I know it pains me to say it, but I'm kind of considering switching over to something like Active Sky when I'm streaming, just to get better performance for you guys. It's pretty dismal when we're using xEnviro. I'll turn it off. Let's see what we're doing now. No, well, actually, to be fair, that doesn't seem to make a huge amount of difference. It's really weird because I don't seem to get that bad frames when I'm in 4K. It's almost like because I'm forcing X-Plane to run in 1080p, it just doesn't like it. Because xEnviro knocks off usually about 10 frames per second, so I don't know whether it's just because I'm streaming. I don't know what it is, but yeah, just my computer just does weird things. I was going to suggest doing the return flight, but I'm suddenly getting really tired. So I think we'll land at Dusseldorf and then we'll call it a night there. Depending on how everything rolls out, I might just do like a highlight video of the landing. Doesn't help that it's like 30 degrees in this room. So in terms of news for my channel, I'm going to start doing some, in addition to continuing with the X-Plane videos, I'm going to actually start doing a series in Train Sim World. I thought, you know, we can still focus in on simulation in this on this channel, and I can do some videos around Train Sim World, which hopefully you guys will like. I might do a short one, maybe a short stream after this. Doing one of the routes. We shall see. See how I'm feeling. Why not? There's quite a few quite short routes that you can do in Train Sim World where you only do like half an hour, particularly on like the commuter trains. Let's have a look how we're doing this. So yeah, about half an hour to go. Not bad. See if the weather's changed at all at Dusseldorf. Oops, let's go down to the ATIS page. Yeah, not bad. No significant change expected. Lightish winds. Yeah, it's roasting in Dusseldorf, 17 degrees. Bloody hell. What's it here in Manchester? Let's look at the Met Office. 10 degrees here. How is it so bloody warm in Dusseldorf? So we'll be looking at about 60 nautical miles to top of descent. A bit too early to start doing the landing speeds and things, so we'll hold off on that one. So we'll look at the arrival chart. What are we doing again? It's the Domo 2 Golf through Domex. No, we're not arriving at 05. It's 23, isn't it? doesn't quite correlate. Ah, oh well. Ignore that. I guess that should be a pretty straightforward approach into Dusseldorf. Hopefully world traffic won't start throwing loads of planes onto the runway. I hope they have a decent ATC in flights in 2020. That would make life so easy. I know it's difficult to do it kind of straight out of the box, but even if they have something like, you know, Pro ATC did quite a good job. Something with slightly less robotic noises than there's one on with X-Plane, but it's basically like using the Microsoft text-to-speech program. It sounds really robotic. Whereas with Pro ATC, they seem to, although they were like not perfect, they were at least, they sounded relatively human. And then it, you know, it simulates all the SIDs and stars and things, which is quite good. So yeah, like I said, if they can do anything like that, that would be pretty epic, because it just feels a little bit lifeless when you don't have ATC. I know you can use obviously VATSIM and things, but I don't like using that when I'm streaming. Right, are you going to ask me whether we can do service? Yeah, no idea how you release them. I've tried the chimes, I've tried doing the seat belts. I googled it, and there seems to be other people having that problem. No idea how you fix that one. It's quite scenic out there. Firework. It's really disconcerting having feedback into my headphones, because you just occasionally the microphone picks out a loud noise, but obviously because I'm wearing the headphones I can't quite distinguish what it is, so I just need to like make sure it's no one like burgling me. But there's loads of people sending off fireworks around here, so that doesn't help. Why are we looking? What's that? 40 nautical miles down to 10%. A little outside view. It's amazing the difference the DSF setting makes, but obviously it just does affect your visibility quite dramatically. Right, we'll go down another notch on the map display. Got some traffic over to our 10 o'clock, but they're quite far away. I don't think they'll be able to see them. Nah. Let's have a look at our stuff. So we can do a flat 30 landing. I need to do 40. Lovely long runway at Dusseldorf. So we got 109.3. Oh. I'm sure that's different to what the chart says. Ah. Yeah, good thing. Good thing the FMS prompted me there. It's 109.3, not 110.95. 109.3. God damn it. Alright, there we go. Yeah, no, that was the, I think it's just a Dusseldorf VOR tower. Right, oh no, it's the ILS DMA, fair enough. I don't know. We've got the correct one now. And it's 231 on the course. There we go. Maybe is that a different runway? IDNE. Yeah, it's east and west, isn't it? So that must be the other runway. Fair enough. So let's go on to the checklist for descent. So landing altitude, we've verified. We already know that. So set correctly. System enunciators fine. I can do the recall if I remember where the button is. Is there a recall button in the 737? Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of the A320 again. No. VRS entered, radio minimums are set, radios are set, auto brake was set to 1. That's descent procedure complete. So we will just go onto the PA and click that descent one once we get to top descent, and then we're good to go down. Thanks very much for the likes, guys. I do greatly appreciate it. It helps my channel and shows your support, which I do, like I said, I greatly appreciate that. It's much. Many thanks. So we'll set our altitude, which was 3,000, I think. Yep. So the VNav can take us down once we hit the top of descent. Good evening, Boris. I'm back in the Zibo, back in the 737. I think that's your favourite, isn't it? Your favourite aircraft. There we go. So just remember we need to set 30 degrees of flap, not 40 on our approach in. Oh, how did the yaw damper go off? We've done that on already. Weird. As much as I love the Zibo, I always seem to make mistakes when I'm streaming in it. Last time I forgot to go back into VNav mode. This time I messed up my sound and then for some reason the yaw damper's gone off. Leo EXE, welcome to the stream. Thanks very much for joining. Nice to meet a new face. And just in time, because we're approaching our top of descent. It's getting a bit bumpy. Some traffic behind us at kind of like 5 o'clock. Out of sight though. So there's BAM there, so that's like our final nav point before we get onto the ILS. Ugh, they really need to sort this out on xEnviro. I hate the fact you get like these lines of weather. It just ruins the whole like immersive experience. Yes, I know you want to do your service, but I don't know how to release you. I don't know what more I can do. I've turned off the seatbelt sign. Down we go. So there's top descent. We'll do the announcement. Might need to introduce a little bit of speed brake. Have a look. Yep, there you go. Drag required. Just keep an eye on the N1. Once that starts to creep up, we'll get rid of the speed brake. We'll do is we'll just bring that DSF down a little bit further, just to get some additional frames. There we go. Once your frames go down below 15, X-Plane has to slow down the kind of virtual sim time, which is what we were seeing there. Okay, we'll go down to 20 on the map display. And we will get rid of our speed brake because we're now actually pushing against it. Smacky Wacky, welcome to the stream. I used to stream on Twitch actually, but now I've just kind of decided I want to consolidate everything onto YouTube and just focus on YouTube. A bit of a shame because I actually got quite a big following on Twitch, and then when I stopped doing YouTube, I kind of just stopped doing all at the same time. It just my work and kind of real life took over, and yeah, it's a bit of a shame because I did quite enjoy streaming on Twitch. But like I said, what I want to do now, I've come back into YouTube. I just want to focus on YouTube, and you know, when I was streaming on Twitch, at the time YouTube didn't really have a live streaming option, or even if it did, it wasn't very good at the time. So now that they've really come on with their live streaming, I've decided, you know, just focusing on YouTube. Why not? Already had quite, you know, I was building the channel on YouTube anyway. But I do know, obviously, that people who stream do tend to go on to Twitch. But you know, there's people who stream on YouTube are quite, you know, successful, like Captain Canada. I know Q8 Pilots now doing streams as well, and many others. So it is possible. Flight Deck to Sim as well, another big YouTuber. So it's possible, you know, to build up a channel by doing live streaming. So that's why I've decided just to test and see how it goes. So I do appreciate you guys watching my videos and supporting me. It's much appreciated. Might just need to creep up a little bit more drag again. Oh, something's loaded again because the frames have suddenly dropped and we're jittering. Yeah, here we go. Here it is again with xEnviro. As much as I love X-Plane, you know, personally I think it's a world apart from P3D. I still can't wait for Flight Sim 2020 to come out because I think it's just going to be the best of both worlds, really. Decent flight model, amazing graphics, hopefully optimized for modern computers, and I think I can probably see myself leaving X-Plane behind. Which is a shame because, like I said, the MD-11 is coming out hopefully soon, so I might just have to keep it in store just for that. And the Quality Wings BA146 as well. Those are my two things I'm keeping a close eye on. But yeah, you know, you spend all this money on a decent system and you're still getting like 18 frames, if that, so it's a bit depressing. So once we hit around about 20,000 feet, we'll get the passenger signs on, and then move on to the next bits like landing lights, get our up-to-date ATIS and QNH and things. What's the, let's just check what the transition altitude is at Dusseldorf. It is 5,000 feet, but we'll be switching over to QNH well before then. I wonder if it's does this charts thing make much of a difference? 16 there. Go to home. Oh wow, actually. Does that make any difference? No, not really. Yeah, I was just making sure. Sometimes things like that can hit your frames. No worries, we can leave that open then. Not a bad day in Dusseldorf. Like I said, it was pretty hot. So what was it? Yeah, still 17 degrees. It's in the middle of the night there. It's what? At least 11 o'clock at night. They're having a bit of an Indian summer. It's a nice straight-in approach. Dusseldorf's over there somewhere. Right, let's get the passenger signs on. That's our angry flight attendant do their announcement, and then we'll do our announcement. Get everything ready for landing. And then by that time we'll probably get the landing lights on and things. Right, I think he's finished, so we'll do the landing announcement. That voice sounds remarkably similar to what our virtual flight attendant sounds like. I don't know if you guys can hear it, it's quite quiet. Right, we'll get rid of our speed brake, we don't need that anymore. At least not for now. Is that Dusseldorf there? Oh, yeah, I can see a city over there. Boris, do you use rudder pedals? I think to buy one a Logitech rudder because I'm tired of doing funny magic with the keyboard. Yes, I have rudder pedals. They are the Thrustmaster pedals. I'll see if I can find the link for them so you can see. I did do like a little mini review in one of my videos a little while back of the ones that I use. Thrustmaster pedals, but I'll just get you the link anyway just so you can see which ones I use. They're not the greatest. Excuse me, they're not the greatest, but they do the job. Oh, that's too long. Hang on. see if I can give you this one. No, it's still too long. Oh, that's annoying. Find a different website potentially. Let's give a link. Yeah, it's these ones. There you go. I could try and show you with the webcam, but I don't think it will stretch that far. Right, let's get the landing lights on. As we're getting close to 10,000 feet. Oh, excellent, yeah. Like I said, they're not the greatest pedals. I'm sure you can get a lot better, but I think a few people commented on this. The fact that basically with hardware for flight sims, you basically you have either really cheap or you have crazy expensive hardware. So it definitely comes in the really cheap bracket. But you know, like I said, they're better than using a joystick or, like I say, if in your case, using keyboard. So we've done the descent checklist, approach checklist. We don't need to do the ground proximity flap inhibit, because we're using flaps 30. Fixed, the landing lights are on, passenger signs are on. Altimeter will set in a second, and no idea what that means, but we'll click the tick. I think that basically is updating your nav data, but I might be completely wrong with that. Well, let's just switch over to the altimeter now anyway. Right, so it was, yeah, it's 1010. We'll at least get it ready until we go below 10,000. Okay. And we're landing ILS. Well, it looks so gaunt on this webcam. I need to get like a decent light to just illuminate me a bit better. Maybe something a bit warmer, because I just look so pale. Okay, we'll switch over now. 1010, and then I won't forget, because I always forget these kind of things. So add a bit of speed brake just to help slow us down, because we're at the decel point. Quite a hefty headwind, 46 knots. So we will bring the speed brake back to the armed position. So this always happens, the speed drops, engines kick in, and then you start descending again, and then it has to slow down again. It's a bit ridiculous. Yeah, that's a bit of a bug they need to iron out. Because there we go, now we go down. Now we'll be going too fast. So we're going to 20 nautical miles on the map display now. Dusseldorf over there? Actually, no, it'll be straight ahead and to our right, so I think a little bit further over, more to kind of 1 o'clock position. It's going to get a bit bumpy as we get into these clouds. Let's get the checklist ready. There's traffic straight ahead. I think it's below us, 400 feet. Can't quite see it. I don't know if it's in the below the clouds. And there's something else to our 1 o'clock-ish. It does look nice though when you're skimming over the clouds in xEnviro. Ooh, something's loading in. ILS has just come online. So yeah, really straightforward approach, just right in and then making a left onto the ILS. Beautiful. So once we complete that right turn past BAM, we'll activate the approach mode. And we'll go flaps 5. Once it decels a little bit more, which it should do once we go past BAM. Nice scenery. There's Dusseldorf over there. There we go, so we now desailed, so like I said, once we've gone past BAM, we will activate the approach, and then once we slow down a little bit further, we can introduce some flap. We'll just see if we can, well yeah, we're slowing down anyway now. So there's 140. Let's go flaps 1. Flaps 2. Flaps 5. And then we'll hold it there, we'll activate the approach mode. How's that? Kind of looks like an airfield, but I'm not sure it's supposed to be.
To go.
So I'm not going to be looking at the chat, so sorry if I miss anything. I'll catch up when I'm landed. I just need to concentrate now. So approach roll mode is armed. Localizer will verify capture in a second, and then we can continue with the checklist in a second. We'll put the engine start switches onto continuous. Excuse me. So we're kind of following the glide slope down, which is a bit bizarre, but it does say top of descent there, so I guess we'll catch up with it there. It's going to be quite a steep. There's the localizer. When I say steep, it's going to be quite a dramatic left-hand turn, which is what we're going to see now. It's not too much of an issue. We'll just correct in a second. There we go.
2500.
Once we stabilise, we'll go gear down to flaps 15. And then flaps 25, 30, and we'll take manual. Down we go. So missed approach altitude was 4,000, I'm pretty sure. Yep, so we'll set that in a second. So localizer capture is verified. Gear down, flaps 15. Engines on continuous, speed brake is armed. And it's illuminated. We've got gear down 3 green now. And then the rest of it, so this approach altitude will set now as 4,000. Flaps 25. And flaps 30, and we'll reduce the speed down to our VREF, which was 147. We'll land in 152, which is kind of our wind component. So that's good. So we're landing checks complete and looking pretty stable. I'll just let the speed settle down, and then we'll take manual control and take over with the throttles as well. So I will take autopilot now. A little bit out of trim. That's better. And I will take the throttle as well. Get the mouse out of the way so you guys can see what we're doing. Pretty nicely trimmed, just a little bit more up.
Thousand feet, stabilized, Mr. Approach altitude set.
And we're looking pretty good. Mike, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Never late. Not too late, don't worry. And 156, that's not very generous. A little bit high. Yeah, I'm not in the Flight Factor A320 here. my landing rates are terrible on that. Hopefully I'll do a little bit better on the Zibo. Got a nice long runway, so hopefully we can grease it. Just a tad high still, so I like to prefer to be a little bit low if anything, so we'll just go down a little bit, that's better.
300.
So now I'm just There's the outer marker. I'm just focusing in on the touchdown zone now, keeping an eye on my speed.
200.
Light slow.
It's fine.
Approaching minimums. 100. 50. Minimums.
Landing.
40. 30. 20. 10.
Kind of moderate reverse, we don't need to overdo it. There's 100 knots.
$80 knots.
Idle. And 60. Stow the reverses and take manual braking. Missed the landing rate. What was it? -1 something. Was it 175? In which case, I apologise, Mike. You were 100% correct. Right, let's slow down and start to clean up. Speed breakers down. I think I need to get a different landing rate calculator because I swear it's very harsh on me. And that's not me just saying that. Right, runway turn offs are off. Let's turn the APU on. Get the start switches to auto. Strobe off. And TGAS off. Stand by. Well, I hope you guys enjoy that. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you have. What we'll do now is we'll taxi over to the gates and then we'll do some replays. Actually, I'll just keep the TCAS on just so I can monitor when we're crossing this runway. And same with the strobes. And a clear left and a clear right. Well, I'm happy to have that excuse, Mike. I'm just saying to explain. I think, well, to be fair, the landing rate calculators, they do give you different results depending on what they're looking at. I think I'm just using quite a straightforward one, which probably doesn't factor in certain things. Okay, so we can now turn off our strobes again and TCAS as we crossed successfully. So we'll take a left here, just slow down a little bit. So in terms of my stream schedule over the weekend, tomorrow I can't stream because I'm having some dental work done, so I don't think I'll be up for it. It might be quite amusing, but yeah, I don't think I'll be streaming tomorrow night. And then Sunday evening I will be streaming, probably around about the same time, about 9 o'clock-ish, and then maybe Monday afternoon. Although, like I said, I was saying earlier on in the stream, what I want to do is record some more videos, just standalone videos, and I was going to potentially do a Train Sim World series for you guys, and then also I'm looking at doing the Tower 3D series, which to continue my Tower 2011 series, which is very popular. So for those guys who like that, I'll do that. So let's just run through the checklist. I realise I haven't done the clean up checklist. So auto brakes off, speed brakes down. It's pro beats we can turn off. Stereo lights are fine, engine start levers are in auto, weather radars are off, flap lever is up, and transponders are auto as well. Thanks, Boris. Yep, just turned it off. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength. We'll just go straight in for this one. Actually, maybe this one. It's sweltering in my office. Bloody hell. Farm sim and truck sim, yeah. I think I've got a farm sim, probably not the latest one, so that's a potential option. And truck sim as well, I haven't got, but that could be a future thing. You know, obviously I'm focusing in on sims on my channel, so all those kind of things are good suggestions, which I will take on board. So we'll take a right here, get the taxi light off, we'll switch over to our APU, get the APU bleed on. And once we're straightened up, we'll switch off engine number 2. That'll do. Is this going to work? It is going to work. Excellent. Okay. Oh, I need to go down a little bit, otherwise I'm going to lose sight of it. I've got to really duck to see this thing. I think it's for a bigger aircraft somehow. And stop. Excellent. Okay, I get the parking brake on. We'll switch off engine number 1, and we'll get the seatbelt signs off. And get the camera back in the correct position. We will connect the GPU. And switch off our APU, not our engine, so our engine's already off. Awesome. So let's just clean up. So window heat's off, hydraulic electrical pumps off, fuel pumps off, yaw damper off, and IRS is off. Isolation valve to on, packs on auto, and we're good. Excellent. Let's turn off our anti-collision light and our logo light, and welcome to Dusseldorf. Let's get our ground handling up to us. So we just need these bits and bobs. Get the doors open, and that's us done. Service cargo. So this is the JustSim scenery for Dusseldorf. Pretty good. You can get it on the xplane.org store. And that's us. Excellent. APU shutting down. Let's do some replays. Sorry Boris, I missed your comment earlier on. So I really thank you for the link. Take one of these Thrustmasters from Amazon. The price is better, available for shipping to Bulgaria. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, it's like I said, it's pretty good, pretty reasonable price. It's not bad at all. You love my vids, Mike. Thanks very much. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the support. See forward a little bit more. Still quite far out. There's no way that was minus 175. That was a greaser. Awesome. Bit of a float. But like I said, I don't think that was too bad. I think minus 175 is pretty harsh. And then we'll go to the tower view now. That'll do. And we're going to have a Flyby encroaching onto the runway. Thanks, world traffic. Yeah, a bit of a flow. Excellent. Excellent touchdown, in my opinion. I agree, Boris. Thanks very much. Okay, well, let's wrap it up there. Like I said, thanks very much, guys, for watching. I really do appreciate all the support. The views seem to be creeping up each time I stream. So, yeah, no, thanks very much, guys. If you like I said, if you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button, subscribe. It really does support me, and it helps my, my channel grow. If you want to be notified when I'm streaming, you hit that little bell icon, or you can follow me on Facebook. The link is in the description below, and I tend to post all my news updates and when I'm streaming on there, so that's probably the best place if you want to see what's going on with the Oblivion Place channel. But otherwise, let's wrap it up there, and see you next time. Thanks very much.